हमें। मेरे देश की धरती I also welcome the press. Once again, I welcome one and all. The program will now start with national song, and I request all the dignitaries to rise for the same.
सुफला मलयज शीतला सस्यश्यामला मातरं वन्दे मातरं शुभ्रज्योत्स्ना पुलकितयामिनी पुल्लकुसुमित द्रुमदल शोभिनी सुहासिनी सुमधुर भाषिणी सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरम्.
Now, I request Honorable the Acting Chief Justice to unfurl the national flag. Thank you, my lord. I request the President, Bar Association, High Court for the State of Telangana to speak on the occasion.
Good morning, everyone. Honorable Acting Chief Justice, Sri Sujay Paul Garu, Honorable Judges, retired judges of Combined High Court and Telangana High Court, Chairman Bar Council of Telangana, A. Narasimha Reddy Garu, Advocate General State of Telangana, A. Sudarshan Reddy Garu, Sri Imran Khan Garu, Additional AG, T. Rajnikant Reddy Garu, and an Additional AG, Additional Solicitor General, Sri Narasimha Sharma Garu, Deputy Solicitor General, Gadi Praveen Garu, Vice Chairman Telangana, Bar Council, Sunil Gaud Garu, Member Bar Council of India, Vishnuvardhan Reddy Garu, Members of Bar Council of Telangana, as public prosecutors, government pleaders, designated senior advocates, my committee members, Vice President Deepthi, Secretary Shantubhushan, Sanjeev Jalala, another secretary, Joint Secretary Naveen, and other executive members, registrars of our High Court, judicial officers, Law Secretary, Telangana, State of Telangana, and all those who are present here, whom I have not mentioned, with due respect to them. A very happy Republic Day to all of you. Today we celebrate the 76th Republic Day, marking adoption of our Constitution on 26th January 1950. This day reminds us of the vision and sacrifices made by our great freedom fighters and members of the Constituent Assembly. But for their commitment to the motherland, we would celebrate this day. The historic event symbolizes the nation's transition to a sovereign republic. The Constitution is more than a legal framework, and that it represents the values of justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity that unite our diverse nation and reflect on our responsibilities as citizens to uphold the principles and work towards a stronger and more inclusive India. The nation celebrates Constitution Day on 26th November. On that day, the Constituent Assembly adopted the Constitution, and we have celebrated the Constitution Day in our High Court by inviting the Honorable Governor of Telangana. That our Constitution is a living document with power to amend when required without touching the basic structure of the Constitution of India. The rule of law, though not explicitly stated, has been recognized as the basic structure of the Constitution. Through patriotic dedication and commitment, the judiciary had maintained the balance between the powers of the state and the rights of the citizens by interpreting the Constitution since adoption of the same. The Constitution adopted is supreme. However, three organs of the government, that is executive, legislative, and judiciary, are created and empowered, and their powers are limited as mentioned in Constitution of India. If any law transgresses constitutional limitation, the constitutional courts are empowered to declare it ultra vires. The rule of law, separation of powers, and judicial review being the basic features of the Constitution, the constitutional courts have interpreted and protected the rights of the citizens with functional complementarity of the legislature, executive, and judiciary by maintaining the separation of powers. By interpreting the inalienable fundamental rights of the citizens, the constitutional courts have been rendering judgments with care and caution by not overlapping with the powers of other organs. The Honorable Supreme Court, in case of K.S. Puttaswamy, had held a right to privacy as a fundamental right, being a human concept of life and personal liberty enshrined in Article 21 of the Constitution of India, and to be treated on par with the freedoms guaranteed under Part 3 of the Constitution. The highest court of the land had held many a times that the individual is the focal point of the Constitution because it is in the realization of individual rights that the collective well-being of the community is determined. The recent events have underlined the far-reaching changes that have taken place in our society, particularly arrival of the new generation, which is technologically savvy, connected with the web, driven by 24/7 media, and looking for instant remedies, have created a societal mix which is posing unprecedented challenges to the established institutions. In the judiciary, despite increased independency, delay in dispensing justice, and high cost of litigation, still the public confidence is at an all-time high. For every conceivable issue, great faith and confidence is reposed, and it must be said to its credit and glory that judiciary has performed itself with great distinction and acclaim. Successive law commissions, eminent judges, jurists, and scholars have from time to time identified several reasons for continued increase in pendency, despite commendable rise in rate of disposals. The valuable suggestions to necessarily initiate a few are improve infrastructure, increase the strength of the judges, impart education and training to take up backlog clearance as a national mission while implementing new techniques, and also to eliminate areas that impede disposal. Coming to the issues of the Advocates Association, the bar expects and requests periodical change in the roster of the learned judges, which was a time-tested procedure implemented by our High Court. The government and the High Court had announced construction of new building whether the building plans are approved by the government authorities and construction would start in near future is, I request the learned that acting Chief Justice would make a statement on that. Every advocate is expecting to hear from your Lordship. The Advocates Association members are eager to know the space going to be allotted for association hall for both male and female advocates, library space for advocates, chambers to senior designated advocates and advocates. On behalf of the association, I request the building committee of judges to meet the members of the association. The advocates, litigants are waiting to know the proposal to move to the building on a auspicious day. Regarding the appointment of judges from the bar, it is not made in the recent past, making a vacancy of 10 posts of judges to be filled from the bar. It is given to understand to the news that 4 advocates' names were sent by Collegium of our Honorable High Court long back, but no further information is forthcoming. However, the appointment of judges from the higher judiciary is made recently. Unless the judges are appointed to the sanctioned strength of our High Court, the huge pendency of the cases cannot be reduced. Therefore, I request on behalf of the association and members of all advocates to send the names of the advocates at an earliest date so as to appoint the judges from the advocates. The pressure on the advocates judges to be reduced and to reduce the pendency and to meet the litigants' request for quick justice by filling the judges alone, it can be done. And the judges are to be selected from all sections of the society. I once again request the Honorable Collegium to see that judges are appointed from the Telangana bar at an earliest date. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir. The Chairman, Bar Council, is to address, but he expressed his inability as he is indisposed due to ill health. On his behalf, I request Mr. P. Vishnuvardhan Reddy, Member, Bar Council of India, to address.
Good morning to all. Honorable Acting Chief Justice Sri Sujay Pal Garu, Honorable Judges of High Court of Telangana, present and former, respected Advocate General, Additional Solicitor General of India, Deputy Solicitor General of India, State Public Prosecutor, President Bar Association of High Court, respected Judicial Officer, Vice Chairman Sri Sunil Gaud, esteemed brother members of the Bar Council of Telangana, former member Bar Council of India N. Ramchandra Rao Garu, respected senior advocates, all distinguished personalities and my dear advocates. It is with immense pride and deep sense of responsibility that I stand before this august gathering on the occasion of the 76th Republic Day of India. Today we commemorate the day our nation adopted the Constitution, a document that transferred us into sovereign, socialist, secular and democratic republic founded on the principles of justice, liberty, equality and fraternity. Republic Day is more than just a celebration of our independence. It is a reminder of our collective duty to uphold the ideals enshrined in our Constitution. It is a day to honor the vision of the framers of the great document, particularly Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who along with the Constituent Assembly gave us a blueprint for the governance, that safeguards the dignity of every individual and preserves the unity of our diverse nation. As members of the legal fraternity, we bear a unique responsibility. The judiciary and the bar play a pivotal role in ensuring the Constitution that remains a living document, evolving with the time while staying true to its foundational value. The High Court of Telangana has consistently upheld these values, serving as a guardian of the Constitution and beacon of justice. This Republic Day, I would like to reflect on how we as a member of the bar can contribute to strengthening our democracy and advancing the rule of law. Number one, by defending the constitutional rights. At the heart of our democracy lies in the protection of fundamental rights. It is our duty to ensure that these rights are not just preserved on paper but are accessible to every citizen irrespective of their social and economic status. By promoting justice for all, the legal profession is a noble calling. It is incumbent upon us to ensure that justice is not a privilege of the few but the right of all. Though pro bono work and legal aid initiatives, we must bridge the gap between the judiciary and marginalized sections of the society. By strengthening the judiciary-bar partnership, a harmonious and collaborative relationship between the bench and bar is essential for the effective administration of justice. Let us work together with mutual respect and a shared commitment to uphold the rule of law. By adopting a change, as we celebrate our republic, we must also recognize the dynamic nature of law. With the advent of technology and global challenges, the legal profession must adapt to meet the needs of the time while staying noted in its core principles. Help in fostering the civic values. Republic Day is a moment to reflect on our collective responsibility as a citizen of this great nation. Let us lead by example, demonstrating integrity, compassion, and unwavering commitment to justice in all that we do. Let us also take a moment to pay tribute to the countless individuals, freedom fighters, soldiers, and public servants who selflessly dedicated their lives to the service of the nation. Their sacrifices remind us that the freedom and rights we enjoy today come with the great responsibility. On this Republic Day, let us renew our commitment to the Constitution, to justice, and to the vision of an inclusive and equitable India. Let us pledge to work tirelessly to ensure that the ideals of our Republic continue to guide us as we navigate the challenges of the future. May the spirit of Constitution inspire us to all build a nation that is just, strong, and united in its diversity. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. I request Learned Advocate General to speak on this occasion.
My Lord, Honorable Acting Chief Justice, my Lords, Honorable Judges, Honorable former Judges, Chairman of the Bar Council, Additional Solicitor General of India, Additional Advocates General, Deputy Solicitor General of India, Public Prosecutor, President of the Telangana High Court Advocates Association, Registrars, Director of the Judicial Academy, Secretary of the Telangana State Legal Services Authority, Secretary of Law and Legislative Affairs, Government of Telangana, members of the Bar Council, executive members of the High Court Advocates Association, respected senior members of the Bar and friends. A very good morning on this auspicious 76th Republic Day. Today we meet on 26th January to commemorate that defining moment when our ancient yet budding nation gave unto itself its own constitution, thereby becoming a sovereign democratic republic. Republic meaning a state where the political power rests with the public or people. Our constitution is the longest constitution in the world. The original manuscript was written in calligraphy font by Prem Bihari Narayan Raizada, was originally from Dehradun. He was a master calligrapher and an expert in English language. He charged no fee for writing the document. His patriotism was such that when Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru asked him how much fee to be paid, not a single paisa, sir, was his emphatic answer. Our Constituent Assembly, which consists of 300 members, had taken 2 years, 11 months, and 17 days to submit the draft of the longest living constitution in the world, which had, after 75 years, has now taken the moral shape of the Himalayas, the Ganges, and the shores of this great nation. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, in his speech on November 25, 1949, distinguished the time taken by other nations to draft their own constitutions. To name a few, the Canadian Constitution had taken 2 years, 4 months. The Australian Constitution took 9 years to become law, and these constitutions are much smaller than the Constitution of India. This was explained because there was some amount of criticism that it took a long period of time. Further, the countries of Canada and Australia do not have the diversity of our country. In fact, our country in this world has, no country in this world has such diversity. The 8th schedule of the Constitution itself has 22 official languages. However, we all agree that there are many languages with script and without a script in this country. The food habits, dress habits, culture, customs are so divergent that the great task undertaken by the founding fathers to assimilate the hopes of so many divergences into these sacred documents should be a Herculean task, unimagined and unperformed, never before or ever after. One of the defining moments of our struggle for freedom were the INA trials held in the Red Fort, Delhi. When the newspapers began to carry detailed reports about the INA trials, the vast majority of Indians began hearing for the first time about the heroic fighting by an ill-equipped and poorly supplied but valiant freedom army of soldiers and civilian recruits, men and women prepared to lay down their lives so that India would be free. It had an electrifying impact on the nation, spurred further by the upright and attractive personalities of the 3 officers facing trial, that is Prem Sehgal, Shahnawaz Khan, and Gurbaksh Dhillon. Sri Bhulabhai Desai, the legendary lawyer and patriot, was the defense counsel of the INA soldiers who were to be tried for treason by the British government. Once the prosecution was done making its case, Bhulabhai Desai took the floor. Over the course of 10 hours spread across 2 days, Desai presented a stirring defense, which among other aspects included probably the first legal argument before any court in the world, which sought to establish the legal right of an enslaved nation to wage a war of national liberation against its foreign ruler. The trial and the ensuing public outrage became the tipping point that hastened the collapse of the colonial rule in India. The inaugural sitting of the Supreme Court of India on 28 January 1950 is published under the authority of the Supreme Court of India, where Sri Harilal J. Kanya, Chief Justice of India, along with other Supreme Court judges were present. The Chief Justice of all the High Courts were present. The Advocate Generals of all the states were present on the occasion. The Prime Minister of India, the Deputy Prime Minister, ministers, and the ambassadors and diplomatic representatives of foreign states were also present. Speaking on this occasion, Sri M.C. Setalvad, the first Attorney General of India, addressing the illuminating gathering, gave a lengthy address. In a small portion I quote, "Scarcely less important will be the role that the court will be called upon to play in mediating between the individual and the government. The detailed enumeration of fundamental rights in the Constitution and the provisions which enable them to be reasonably restricted will need wise and discriminating decisions. On the court will fall the delicate and difficult task of ensuring to the citizen the enjoyment of the guaranteed rights consistently with the rights of society and the state. The recent judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court are a reflection of the first Attorney General's speech on the interplay between directive principles of state policy and fundamental rights. A 9-judge bench delivered a nuanced judgment in Property Owners Association v. State of Maharashtra, reported in 2024 Supreme Court Cases Online 3122. The bench declared that Article 31C, which protects certain wealth redistributive laws under Article 39B and C of the Constitution from fundamental right challenges, continues to form part of our constitutional framework. In an 8-to-1 majority, the bench clarified that Not all privately owned property instantly qualifies as a material resource of the community. However, specific criteria such as acquisition, public purposes, or potential for nationalization must be met. This measured approach ensures that the state's pursuit of economic democracy remains proportionate, safeguarding individual rights while empowering the state to enact equitable redistributive policies in line with the constitutional vision. India has traversed a long distance ever since its tryst with destiny. It has become a robust and pulsating democracy. The former British Prime Minister, Sir Anthony Eden, who said in 1954, "The Indian venture is not a pale imitation of our practice at home, but a magnified and multiplied reproduction on a scale we have never dreamt of. If it succeeds, its influence on Asia is incalculable for good. Whatever the outcome, we must honor those who attempted it." Democracy in India has not only survived, but over the years has been deepened and strengthened. The alchemy of this has been the ingenuity of the Indian mind and intellect to innovate and evolve. All the pillars of the democracy, the judiciary, legislature, and the executive, have all worked in unison to protect and cherish the Constitution bestowed on us by our founding fathers. May this Republic Day kindle in us a renewed sense of unity, gratitude, duty, and resolve. May we build upon the legal and social transformations to forge pathways toward justice, liberty, and equality for all. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir. May I now request my Lord Honorable the Acting Chief Justice to deliver his Lordship's message on the eve of Republic Day.
Namaskar, good morning to all of you. My esteemed brother and sister judges, Shri B. Narasimha Sharma, Learned Additional Solicitor General of India, Shri A. Sudarshan Reddy, Learned Advocate General and his team, Shri P. Nageshwar Rao, Learned Public Prosecutor, the representative of Telangana State Bar Council, Shri G. Praveen Kumar, Learned Deputy Solicitor General of India, Shri A. Ravindra Reddy, President, Telangana High Court Bar Association, and other office bearers, Learned Senior Counsel, Registrar General and his team of registrars, Director, State Judicial Academy, Member Secretary, Telangana State Legal Services Authority, Secretary, High Court Legal Services Committee, Law Secretary, Learned Advocates, Learned Judicial Officers and other staff members of the High Court, the security personnels, representatives of print and electronic media, and dear friends. At the outset, on my behalf and on everybody's behalf, I salute the martyrs, the freedom fighters and makers of the Constitution, because of which we are breathing today in free air. The preamble of Constitution shows that we, the people of India, adopted, enacted, and gave to ourselves the Constitution. Thus, it is not only duty of lawmakers, law enforcers, and law interpreters, but also the duty of every citizen to protect it, being keepers of the Constitution. Our Supreme Court and High Courts have known how to read the language of liberty in the Constitution and the statutes. They have upheld human rights, without which no free system can exist. The Constitution and judicial system work hand in hand to ensure that the nation remains democratic, just, and equitable society. The Constitution provides legal and philosophical foundation for the governance, whereas the judiciary ensures that these principles are actively upheld and defended. Collectively, they form the foundation of India's democracy and the legal structure.
The effectiveness of judicial system is largely determined by how well it addressed the backlog and pending cases. Through collaboration between the bar and bench, I believe we can achieve remarkable progress in reduction of pendency. I accept complete backing from the bar as we embark on this journey. From my side, on behalf of all my colleagues, we can say that we are committed to work towards the betterment of bar and the bench in every possible way. As on 1st January 24, the High Court had a pending case load of 2,31,575, which decreased to 2,29,221 by 31st December 24. During the year, 70,626 new cases were filed, while 72,980 cases were disposed of, resulting in a reduction of 2,354 pending cases. Notably, the High Court disposed of 2,334 more cases than the institution of new cases, indicating a significant progress in clearing the backlog despite paucity of judges. Along with live streaming of all the benches, 3 benches including 2 division benches and 1 single bench are now functioning as paperless courts, significantly improving the efficiency. The High Court also launched a new user-friendly website on 15th August 24. On 78th Independence Day, with improved navigation and accessibility to enhance public service, 97 e-Seva Kendras were inaugurated, with 1 located in the High Court and rest across districts and taluka courts. A total 131 personnel were employed in these centers to assist the litigants. The digitization of court records for the district judiciary commenced in 10 districts of the state, streaming record keeping and access. On the procedural front, the High Court implemented N-step for serving warrants and summons on the criminal side and introduced new rules under the Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita and Telangana Electronic Process Issuance, Service and Execution Rules 2024. Other notable initiatives include the launch of online RTI portal, e-visitors pass, e-payment module for court fees, and online leave module for judicial officers. Video conferencing equipment was provided to district courts, prisons, and hospitals, enhancing connectivity from remote hearing. To further improve the experience for shareholders, free Wi-Fi was made available within the High Court premises. These advancements collectively highlight the commitment of High Court to modernization, accessibility, and efficiency. The High Court has recently launched its annual recruitment calendar 2025, detailing the tentative dates of notification, submission of applications, examinations, etc., for filling up the vacancies in the High Court service and state judicial, ministerial, and subordinate services. In respect of Telangana Legal Services Authority, 3,816 legal awareness programs were conducted and 14,017 persons were benefited through legal aid in the year 24. Further, into consecutive National Lok Adalat, the state of Telangana disposed of maximum number of cases and stood first in the country. For the first time, community mediation was introduced in Telangana, and community mediation centers already started working in Nizamabad and Kamareddy districts. On this Republic Day, the Telangana High Court, like all other high courts, reaffirms its commitment to the Constitution. In this regard, this court has a role to play, whether by advancing legal education, embarking technological advancement for case management, or promoting alternative dispute resolution mechanism to reduce case backlog. On behalf of my colleagues, I request the members of the bar to continue to contribute in the proceedings. Little deviating from the subject, since a very important aspect was highlighted by Learned Advocate General about the INA trial. I may tell you very interesting aspect, another aspect of that INA trial. There was, when that INA trial was being conducted in the Red Fort, the top lawyers and top politicians of that time, leaders of the freedom movement, prepared a team which included Vallabhbhai Patel, Jawaharlal Nehru, the other persons including Bhulabhai Desai. And Bhulabhai Desai was given that responsibility to lead the argument on behalf of the team, and the wonderful proposition is already highlighted by Learned Advocate General. But especially for the young members of the bar, I would like to tell few things about Bhulabhai Desai. Bhulabhai Desai was not only a freedom fighter, he was a first generation lawyer, and when he was a junior lawyer, he was sitting in the Bar Association library of Bombay Bar Association and taking notes of his case which was to be listed. A senior lawyer whose name was Inverarity, very prominent lawyer of Bombay Bar, he came there and he just asked, "Young man, what are you doing?" The answer of Bhulabhai Desai was that I am taking notes of my case which is going to be listed. The instantaneous remark of Learned Senior was, "Why you are wasting the paper, whether the space in your mind is already over?" So he felt it very bad that such a remark was made. But when Bhulabhai Desai inquired, he found that Inverarity goes to the court without there being any note, and he argues the entire matter, narrates the facts, tells the legal arguments without there being a single note. Bhulabhai Desai took it to his heart, and the second thing which Learned Advocate General was telling, in addition to that, when he argued that matter for almost 2 days continuously, from a paper book which was containing 2,000 pages, he argued without there being any single note with him. And pages after pages, paragraphs after paragraphs of the depositions he stated with his memory. And a British professor who witnessed that trial stated that Britishers are ruling in the entire world, but I have not seen a legal argument and legal acumen and efficiency of this quality which Bhulabhai did. The message which I want to convey to the young members of the bar in particular is that Bhulabhai Desai proved his name to be incorrect. He was not Bhulabhai. He was in fact very accurate with his argument. We can take inspirations from such freedom fighters and the members of the bar. The pendency of whole matter is a challenging aspect, and this challenge can be taken care of with the help of members of the bar. Therefore, I request the members of the bar to rise to the occasion so that we continue to get their cooperation and challenge can be met. On my behalf and on my behalf of my esteemed brother and sister judges, I ensure that by all means we will strive to work with utmost satisfaction. The new High Court building will come up shortly, we believe, and government has already allotted 2580 crores for construction of court building, the judges' quarters and infrastructure facilities. The building committee has taken pains to prepare a draft after obtaining the suggestions from the members of the bar, and after preparing the PowerPoint presentation also it was shared with the members of the bar and members of the bar council. And the new construction includes the Bar Council, Advocates Association, Chambers of Senior Advocates, and other amenities for advocates and litigants. Lastly, I hope that all of us will work together so that the vision of the Constitution can be translated into reality. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, Mila. Now, national anthem. I request all the dignitaries to rise for the same. With the permission of the Honorable the Acting Chief Justice, I declare that the celebrations are concluded. I request all the Honorable Judges to participate in the high tea on the right side lands of their Lordships. And I request all the advocates to participate in the lawns left side of them. I request the judicial officers to participate in the high tea besides 14th court and all the staff members besides 13th court.
అదృష్టం మన అరచేతిలో రేఖల వల్ల కాదు, అవిశ్రాంత చేతులు